Good morning and welcome back to Sun Up on 7. I swear it's always a blast here on the show, but we're about to enter into another segment and we're joined here with one of our favorite chefs, Chef Jennie Staines. And she'll be talking about what she encountered this Easter break and how we can go forward in prevention of what she encountered. So good morning, Chef Jennie. How are you this morning? Welcome back.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right,
I
great.
miss your food, Chef Jenny. I just want to try that out there. But anyways.
So, Chef Jennie, could you tell us about what exactly you encountered this Easter in terms of fish?
Okay, we normally purchase fish in another manner, but because of a solid 2 weeks of business before the Easter, we have been doing like over 225 taps every night for 2 solid weeks before Easter. So I had to source fish another way. So I had people sending me fish from the city by in on the boat in coolers with ice. So I would receive it on this end, and it wouldn't be that I would go straight to the boat and purchase and pick my fish. My fish was already picked by the people who was sourcing the fish in the city for me, right? So when we started checking the produce, we encounter a lot of fish that are illegal to fish, first of all, and they had put patches. And as you can see on the screen, that piece of fish is a trigger fish, and the patch is on the opposite side where it should be, and it's sticked with glue. And it looks like crazy glue or one of those glues that adhesive that is very strong, and that is not good because you are contaminating the fish right there and then.
Wow. So I know that some of the fish species that you've encountered, the triggerfish and the parrotfish.
Yeah.
Could you speak about the importance of those fishes in our marine environment?
The parrotfish especially is one of the most important fishes on the reef because they are reef cleaners, right? And we need to protect them. And for years, for the past, that I can remember, for the past 25 years, we don't even entertain fishermen that do the wrong type of fishing. So at Elvis, we don't use it, but for here in San Pedro, it's just been like maybe 10 years that people are aware and not using it, but all of a sudden, this Easter, it comes afloat again. Because right before COVID, the gray angel was being fished in abundance. And I personally sent some pictures and tried to get help through Oceana and Fisheries Department and Minister at back then. And they really tried, and the Omar Figueroa, he is the person that really looked into the gray angel because it was being fished. Like if you get a pound, like let's say you get 10 pounds of fish, 8 pounds would be gray angel. That bad.
Wow.
That's kind of alarming there. And in terms of they were passing, I believe I saw the interview where they were passing the triggerfish off as grouper, no?
Yes, exactly. The patches that they're using are all grouper patches.
Wow.
My fear about this, Chef Jenny, is just the fact that you see how you're an expert, you know this, you know the type of fish that you cook, so you can be able to identify this with no problem. Even if there's crazy goose something on it, you can tell. But my fear is for the people that don't know like you do, and so they're just purchasing things and they can't even say, "Oh, this is not the right thing that I'm purchasing." So is there something where in place where people can be able to identify what fish is what fish? Because I don't think people normally pay attention to that. They just buy for buy sake. If you tell me that this, I don't believe that because they don't really want, I can guess it and they don't know how to identify that this is a parrotfish and this is not what I was purchasing.
Parrotfish is one of those fishes that have a very intense smell. it smells very strong, and it's not even fishy, it's another odor. So the parrotfish you can identify easily because of the odor, and also the meat let like it's fluorescent. Like if you move it around, you can see like different colors of it from its same from the outside. When you see how beautiful it is, the meat, if you put it like on the sun, you can actually see those colors.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
fresh. But then the other fishes, it's very difficult. Only if you are a person who buys fish, you'll be able to identify fish in that manner. But you see how they have that patch on the fish,
Yes, ma'am.
a patch that was left on. You will not be able to pull it off with your hand. That patch, if you try to pull it up, it's going to be very hard, and you're going to tear the fillet.
right.
So that's a way of testing. You see how easy it comes up?
Right.
Uh-huh.
If that patch belongs to that fillet, you will not be able to pull it off that in that manner.
That
That is a
Maybe
way to
if
test too as well.
exactly like those fishes that we use that are for restaurant use, most of those fishes you would not be able to pull off the patch. Now, if it's a dorado, maybe you can pull it out because that's a way of cleaning the fish, or a tuna, but not those fishes that would stick on. It would be very difficult for you to peel it off. So that's a way of identifying if the fish belongs, that patch belongs there.
I think it would also be wise to Chef Jenny that if you are going for fish, purchase the fish and have them fillet there.
That is a good option too. But for restaurants, especially here in San Pedro, people have, like me, I buy from Oscar Tabora for years. And I haven't really spoken to him about the situation because I am not sure who exactly sent me this fish.
Okay.
But I am going to talk to all the people who provide seafood for me when it's extremely busy. I buy from Erodi Solis, I buy from Tabora, and it's the first time this has ever happened. It's really a shame. And also, some guys came here selling filet around the island right before Easter. And I don't know, but this is really bad.
And unfortunately, there are some people who cannot identify the fish like you
what I'm
could.
saying, yeah.
And so there, I could imagine the amount of people that were eating fishes with contaminants such as, if it is crazy glue, in their fish.
Exactly like me, I had to take that fish and go over all of the produce to make sure that I didn't have more, like Sean Quilling says, fish in a bag,
But
puss in a bag.
right, it is. And it's not only San Pedro, it's not only the islands. We're talking about all over the country as well, especially during Easter. The whole Christian aspect of eating fish.
Yeah, on Good Fridays,
Good Friday,
you get your fish and bone and all these things. And I think also, just in general, sometimes people can't catch the certain thing that the people want, so they're gonna pass it off as something else. And that's my concern, where I'm hoping that maybe Oceana, Tide, all these different places that normally work towards environmental consciousness, they can be able to produce some seminars or some kind of information on their Facebook pages or stuff that will allow people to know the differences, or be able to just have that knowledge and nuggets of knowledge to help them to know what they're buying out there. Because I'm thinking a lot of people, they don't have that experience like you, Chef Jenny. So it's going to be a challenge. Viewers are in say this is very informative because they didn't even know this is how you be able to identify the fishes. And so what are we eating? That's the big question a lot of people should be wondering. Like, what are we eating when we're out there? I mean, now we can test for the parrotfish. It's very simple for that one. But for other ones, like you mentioned, it's a little bit harder.
But it's not as simple, because while Chef Jenny can identify the strong odor and the look of the flesh, there are a lot of people that don't know.
Yeah.
And I think I know there's the website, Chef Jenny, where there is an actual guide as to how you can identify the actual fish. But I don't think there's a guide to show you, like, for instance, I saw the prohibited fish. Um, there isn't a guide to the meat, so you don't know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, but you see, this problem could have been kind of solved if the fishermen would have gotten on board with the program with Oceana, the Fish Right, Eat Right program, because that is an amazing program that would benefit all the restaurants and the fishers. But only a few people got on board, and this is an eye opener to all the restaurants that this could have been, well, not our problem this year. We could have gotten fish and we would know exactly where it was caught, who caught it, what time it was caught. But it just didn't work the way we wanted to, and it was a big Oceana did such big work, with the other partners. And it's a pity that we came up to this Easter. I hope things change. And I'm pretty sure with this that you guys put it out on the news yesterday, because I already got some calls, and I saw it posted on the Chef Association, which is great because we need to have our eyes open.
Right.
Yes.
And we need to help. Like me, I've been helping around this island with the fishing people. The fishing population has gotten a little bigger after COVID. And men here in San Pedro, these guys that are fishing are really putting good work, and they're not concentrating in the reef fishing. They are going miles and miles out and catching deep water fish. And kudos to those guys here in San Pedro. We need the people from Sarteneja, the people that fish off of Belize.
Right.
They need to stop killing our angel fishes, our trigger fishes, and our parrot fishes. Fisheries department needs to put a little more rules and regulations to these guys. They need to be spot checked out in the sea.
Definitely.
Because it's not fair for us, the restaurateurs, and it's not fair for the whole tourism industry. People come here, they want to eat what you're offering them. They don't want to eat a trigger fish when you're offering them a grouper.
Right.
And I think the important part, we should all try to make this work, because we it's 2020, and when you ask for a fish fillet, if it's a snapper, they should give you a snapper. And the prices are outrageous. Right now, you have to pay $25 for fish fillet.
Wow.
That fish that came from the city for me, it was $22 a pound.
Wow.
I had to pay Tropicare or the water taxi.
And you still end up
You
with
get a wrong
Cocina
fish too
bag.
as well.
They end up in a bag.
That is, yes, that is
That's
something.
disturbing.
I think it goes to show, though, Chef Jenny, some of the loopholes that people are finding. And I think this can only be a learning experience for everybody at the same time. Going forward, yes, I completely agree with you that we do need stricter enforcement procedures or checking of some of these fisher folks in in preventing further fraud from happening and destruction of our marine environment, because I know the importance of parrotfish. They actually help to create sand.
Yeah.
So that is, I think it's just a learning lesson, a bump, an unfortunate bump, but
I think we
hopefully
need
we
a
learn.
situation like this to have our vision focused on other ways in which we can help our environment. And so this is a wake-up call for the chefs out there, for people that are buying fish, but also, like you mentioned, for the fisheries to be able to do more spot checks, do more implementation, do better regulations, look at see what the loopholes that are being practiced out there now. And so thank you so much for sharing all this knowledge with us, Chef Jenny. We
Thank
truly
you, yes.
appreciate it. Because if you never see it, I'm sure other people would not even be thinking about it. People just think, oh, well, they eat. But what are we eating? And what also is this eating causing to our environment too as well? What are we taking out of our environment? that we
And to
do need?
ourselves, because we could be ingesting glue. We don't know.
Exactly. So definitely something that people should be taking into consideration. Thank you so much, Chef Jenny, for sharing your knowledge. Our viewers are appreciative of it. And so with that, we go to our next commercial break. But when we're back, we're going to be talking about baseball and that community. Stay tuned for that exciting conversation. We'll be right back.